Evan Singleton, please stop headbutting stuff. You are going to die. Hey guys, welcome back to another show. We had the Royal Albert Hall this weekend, and what a show it was. If you were a person that put money on the podium, you were after losing a lot of money because you couldn't have called this, especially when we have two World's Strongest Man winners in this, neither of them making the podium. So we're going to talk about the winner first. Congratulations to Evan Singleton, who picked up a trophy and about 10 stitches across the top of his pole. Evan, what do you headbutt? Like, you had the show wrapped up and you almost lost it because you headbutted a wall, or you headbutted, I don't know what you headbutted, but did anyone else see the big scar across the top of his pole? Evan Singleton won with 1.5 points. He was, I think, 7.5 points in the lead before the last event. Evan is typically good at stones, and decided to headbutt a wall or something on the way to doing stones, and nearly gave himself a concussion. In fact, he probably did, and only ended up loading 4 stones and almost losing his first place spot. Evan, you need to have a word with yourself, please. Evan, you need a therapist, right? Because there is something not working in your head where you need to be going around headbutting yokes to psych yourself up. There's other ways. Why don't you fucking stick something up your hole or something else to light your fire? Because if you keep headbutting walls, you're going to either break the wall or you're going to break your head, and you need to just sort yourself out. So we had Evan Singleton in first place. We had Jaakko Schoenwinkel in second. Jaakko is the most hottest, coldest man ever. He could come in one show and be down the bottom table. He could come into the next show and literally win the show. It's great to see him back. Then in third place, we had Paddy Haynes. I'm not surprised to see Paddy Haynes on the podium, because Paddy is the type of fella, he's certain events there, he is extremely hard to beat. One of the events, stones, I think he came first in stones. Did he come first in stones? He did. He won stones. He deadlift, he came second place. Frame carry, he came third place. Hercules Hole, he came fourth. And on the log medley, he came second last. So you can see if Paddy starts continuing on, because he has brought up his overhead, hitting 3 logs in that log ladder is decent pressing, because that 160 feels fucking heavy by the time you get to it. And I think in 12 months time, when he has really bulked up his overhead, that man is going to be dangerous and he's going to start winning these competitions. So it's good to see Paddy up there flying the flag for the UK and showing the lads how to do it. Yes, sir, indeed. In fourth place, we had Reno Nell. Reno Nell would have had his eyes opened up to the Giants Live. Giants Live is such a difficult competition. It is hard, especially the Royal Albert Hall, because it's like an oven. It's like 400 degrees in that fucking place. It's tough. It's very fast. I don't think he'd be used to that type of a fast-paced show. It just catches you off guard, these type of shows. And you need to be very fit, very fresh for these shows to win them. Down in fifth place with Lucas Hatton. Sixth, Trey Mitchell. Trey Mitchell had a bit of a mess up on the frame. He's typically not good on the frame, especially if there's no straps involved. And apparently it's to do with some nerve damage that he's picked up in a car accident. Hopefully he can get that slapped up, because he was 35 points. I mean, if he had picked up 3 points in that, if he came third last in that, he'd be up in fourth place. If he'd picked up a couple more points, he would be on the podium. So he picked up 0 points in that event, which is a bit of a boot in the hole for him. And then down in seventh place, we had Mitchell Hooper, which was such a shock to me, because it just tells you how much of a man he is as well. Because, like, how many of us, right? You're 3 or 4 events deep, and you're known full well that you're going to lose out on your podium streak, which was at 24 podiums, I think. That has to be such a kick in the balls, and he fought through and did the last event, and it just shows you the caliber of the man that Hooper is. And even now I'm seeing people that are still at this point, because he had a bit of a breakdown when he was speaking to Neil at the show, and it just shows you that that's a very broken man. That is a man that is broken. And he was trying his best not to show his emotions because, I don't know, he just doesn't like to show them. A lot of us don't like to show your emotions like that. And he would have been smiling through the night, but I can tell you something. The very minute that man got back to the room, he probably, I know if it was me, I would just be absolutely devastated. Can you imagine having a 24 podium streak and just losing it in this way, It has to be such a bitter pill to swallow, and I hope he is okay. And I even see some people at this point, knowing that he's rock bottom, he's not doing well, he's after losing his streak, and you're still throwing stones at him. The people that are throwing stones at a man when he's on the ground, people that kick people who are on the ground, you're the lowest of the low. You are the worst breed of a cunt. When you're kicking a man when he's down, you're the worst breed of a cunt ever. And I can see there's still people commenting, leaving shitty arse comments on his performance. And it's all from insecure little cunts that couldn't tie his shoelaces. So what I'd suggest for Mitchell Hooper is, I hope Mitchell Hooper pulls out of the next couple of competitions, the Strongest Man on Earth being one of them. I think that's his next one. He doesn't need to do these shows. He doesn't need to prove to anyone and to do these shows and to keep putting pressure on himself. I know he's employed a lot of people to help run his thing and his Instagram, YouTube, clothing line or whatever. Mitchell Hooper needs to take some time off. He needs to take time off from training. He needs to take his foot off the pedal, because his foot has been on the pedal for a couple of years now. He just needs to take 3 months where he doesn't train, where he's not fixated at work, because apparently he's a workhorse even behind the scenes in strongman, with his YouTube and everything else that he does and all these other businesses. I just really want to see Hooper back to the performance, because it's really sad to see, because we know the type he is, we know what he's capable of. If this was Mitchell Hooper from last year, Mitchell Hooper would be, and it's not to take anything away from Evan, Evan just isn't Mitchell Hooper. Mitchell Hooper is one of the most incredible athletes we've ever seen in strongman. And in my opinion, he's one of the most complete strongmen ever. I think he beat, a lot of people would say it's 2017 or 18 Thor. I think he beats that Thor. He's just very untouchable in some events. You cannot catch him. He has zero weaknesses. He's just the ultimate strongman. And to see him come in 7th place in a competition like this, he's just a shadow of his former self. And I think if Mitchell Hooper from last year competed this past weekend, he would have won that show, and there's no doubt in my mind about that. And I remember when Mitchell Hooper first came on the scene, and it was to World's Strongest Man. And all we knew of Mitchell Hooper at that point was his Instagram, where he was doing 550 kilo super yokes and flip-flops and 475 kilo deadlift and these crazy overhead presses. And I remember speaking to Darren Sadler at World's Strongest Man, and I was like, that man is full of shit. There's no way there's a man that's strong hiding on Instagram and never showing up to competition. And I said, he's going to get so exposed here at World's Strongest Man. And I've said this to Mitchell Hooper, obviously, because it's funny now, because he literally showed up and obliterated everyone. He knocked Brian Shaw off of his win streak of his group. And it was just incredible to see. And I've been such a fan of his strength. And I love watching him compete, because he does impossible things in strongman. Just seeing him compete is such a joy. He's brought so much interest into strongman. He's brought so many more eyes into strongman. He is fucking a fantastic athlete, and I love watching him. And it's just a shame to see him like this, see him so broken. And I just want the man to take some time off and focus on himself and rebuilding that confidence back in himself. Because we see it the weekend, and I was saying it to Luke, one of the things about Mitchell Hooper was his calmness. I mean, when he was back full strength, was how calm and collective he was before an event. He wasn't roaring or headbutting walls or just acting erratic. He was just so calm before an event. And then at that point, you could see a human do anything. That human was just about to do something impossible. And if you watch him the weekend, he was just so frigid, and you could see in his eyes that he was bothered by something, and I just hope he takes some time off and comes back and dominates all over again, because I am such a Mitchell Hooper fan. I love watching the man compete, and that is all I'm going to say on it. Outside of that, obviously Evan Singleton won, and we want to see Evan to stop headbutting walls, because you're going to kill yourself. For fuck's sake. You nearly lost it. We had Mateusz Kielakowski down in 9th place, and like I think Luke Richardson put it best when he said, we need Kamikaze Kielakowski back. The man that was just fucking wanted to fucking ride weights, you know. At the minute he's still a bit hesitant against lifting stuff, and you know why, because like he's probably mental trauma from all the surgeries and not having to go back to any of that shit. He's still a young man, so we could see the best from him yet. Outside of that, well, we did a live stream. Myself and Luke Richardson did a live stream, and it was fucking funny. And I don't mean I was funny, or I don't mean Luke Richardson was funny. I mean the chat was fucking funny. And like, I mean, for something that went on for 4 or 5 hours, it was so funny. It was so entertaining. So the next time there's one of these shows on, strongman shows, come watch it live with us. Watch how funny this gets. It is worth it, especially, you know, when there's breaks going on and stuff and we're just chatting. I would definitely recommend it. So that's kind of all we can take away from the weekend. I didn't really notice anything else. It was a packed out show again. If you want to go next year, I suggest you buy your tickets now, because they're available now. And that's all I have to say about it. What a fantastic weekend. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope Spencer Remick is okay. Spencer popped his bicep. I'm not sure on the severity of that. I hope it's not bad. I hope it's like only a little partial thing. And I wish them all the best. And Evan Singleton, good luck getting your head checked, because you need it. And I don't mean the big scar you're after adding to the top of your pole. You need stitches, but you just need to talk to someone. Do you know, get that demon out of you, because if you don't, you're going to die. Anyway, lads, thank you all as usual. Make sure you head over to my store, poweredwire.com, and pick up some merch. Good day to you.